Hey class, what's going on? Sorry, this is Mr. Korb, and I am under the weather a little bit still, but I figured I would give you the last video in the series. So, this is 7-5, graphing linear functions. Remember, just functions are a relation between input and output. Basically the same thing as we said before about equations, y equals. This is just for saying f of x equals, where we can see the x and the y at the same time. So to graph any function, we can make a table of values. Then we can plot the points on the table. Okay, a table of values or a table of points. So an x comma y, where x is the in and y is the out, or the domain and the range. Okay, so let's take a look at this first example. I'm going to do probably one of these, and then I'm going to have you do the rest of them on your own because pretty self-explanatory. One thing I want to point out is when I say linear functions, what is it going to look like? It's going to look like a straight line. So if your picture doesn't look like a straight line, check your points and double check to make sure that you have everything copacetic. All right. So f of x equals negative 2x. Couple of values that you traditionally want to try and plot. You want negatives, you want 0, and you want positives. So what I like to do is always start out with this negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. And also make sure that you're looking at your graph. If you see that something isn't going to be divisible evenly, change your values. So for like this number 3, we see that it's divisible by 2. So when we plug something in, we want whole numbers. So you can still have that 0 in the beginning, but what I would recommend doing is plugging in some even values. So this could be negative 4, negative 2, 2, 4. So make it easy on yourself. Don't use fractions, don't use decimals, just use those whole numbers. Like this last one, just go in multiples of 3 so you can get rid of this denominator. All right, so f of x equals negative 2x. So if I plug in f of negative 2, I get negative 2. I'll write out the first one. Negative 2 times negative 2 equals positive 4. So we've got a 4 there. We have f of negative 1. F of negative 1 gives a positive 2. Okay, f of 0. F of 0 would give us a 0 because negative 2 times 0 is just 0. F of 1 would give us a negative 2. And f of 2 would give us a negative 4. Okay, pretty easy. Let's just finish this up. Negative 2 and negative 4. All right, let's drop down. Let's go ahead and graph it. This should be pretty easy. Let me grab a different pen so you can see it better. We got this negative 2 comma 4. These are your points the whole way down through, excuse me. So we start out with this negative 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, next one, negative 2 or negative 1, 2, 0, 1, negative 2, and 2, negative 4. Okay, and as you can see, it does indeed. Let's try that one again. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to cheat and insert a straight line just so you can see it better. Okay, let's insert that line. Boom. Okay, we'll even make it red to match. The power of technology at its best, right? Okay, beautiful. So there we go. We have that line. We plotted our points. We're good to go. Make sure that you fill out the rest of the tables. And try number 4, and remember, try and use whole numbers. And that's what I'm going to use. If you use different numbers than I do, but you still get the same picture, that's A-okay. It just makes grading a nightmare for me, but nah, who cares, right? So go ahead, pause the video if you want, and I'll resume momentarily. All right, so let's check this out. In number 2, we have these values here where I plug them in. Negative 2 times 3 minus 4 is negative 10. And as you can see, negative 10 to negative 7 is that we're adding 3 every time. That's where our slope's coming from. So every time we increase 1 on the x value, we're increasing by 3 on the y value. That's that relationship between the two. Same thing with number 3. You can go ahead and check make sure that your line matches your equation. So we're starting at this we're starting at 2, the y-intercept, and then we're going up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, and that's how we get to those next points. So let me move the screen down here so you can see the last one. Those are my tables and values. You can check out your work, make sure they match, and if you have any questions, let me know. If not, good job. I will talk to you later when I'm not sick.